All right, welcome you all. Let's discuss our next topic of the day, right? It might sound a bit weird, it might sound a bit awkward, but the topic of the day today is we are going to talk about draws. Right now, firstly, a question might arise like, hey, coach, why are you talking about draws? So in chess, sometimes you're winning and sometimes you're losing. So you always need to be able to honestly and objectively analyze your position. So you know the best plan moving forward, correct? So when you're losing, getting in a draw or getting a draw or making the game a draw is often the best thing you can do, right? Because white is like probably losing in this position might look like, because if you play a move which is awkward, like for example, if you play a move like king f4 or king f3, then it might result in an eventual loss because of king g1 followed by the pawn getting promoted. So we need to be careful, and sometimes if not winning, then probably drawing is the best option. So yes, so if you need to make a draw in this position, always you can pause it and probably think about it for some more time. But the obvious answer is yes, king goes to f2, and if the king goes to h1, okay, just make sure you maintain the opposition, which means you keep on shouldering the king. For example, king f1, king h2, king f2, king h1, king f1, and then if the pawn goes to h2, then you play the move king f2, and this is a draw because of stalemate. The black has no squares to go to. Firstly, the king cannot retreat itself, and the pawn cannot keep moving forwards towards rank number one. So yes, finding draws is especially good if you have a losing position. Let's take a look at another one, right? If you just take a look at the position, it, like I said, it just normally gives you a basic idea that queen captures a2 is a checkmate, rook captures a2 is a checkmate, queen going or sliding to b2 is also a checkmate. And white has nothing but only one saving grace is that white has this queen. So there is a thing in chess called as perpetual checks, right? You just keep on checking, keep on giving checks back and forth, and it would lead uh, to an ultimate draw. So yes, firstly, if you want to give a check, you play the move queen captures h6. The king must go to g8, and then you keep going back and forth. For example, queen captures g5, king goes to h7, queen h5, king g7, and you see that that's what we call as perpetual checks or threefold repetition, right? So yes, the king will just keep moving wherever it wants to go, and we have to keep going back and forth like queen g5, queen h5, so on and so forth. So yes, that's pretty much it. And then let's talk about our next position, right? We are playing as black. Uh, Actually, yeah, you know what? Let me just flip the board real quick. We are playing as black, and I really want to promote this pawn, but the bishop kind of hinders my path. And the best part is this king is also on this diagonal, so it somehow helps. So firstly, if I want to get rid of the bishop, king b1, right? King b1 is the move. And if bishop c3, I really cannot promote, because if I promote, then the bishop will sacrifice itself, and this pawn is gonna make it all the way to the 8th rank. So what do? I just keep on going back and forth and making sure that, uh, yeah, making sure that the bishop is like kind of getting deflected time and again. So let's say, what if they push the pawn? Okay, if they push the pawn, then black is completely winning, because let's say they push, you push, and then they push, they make a queen. But here comes the best part, which is a skewer, right? And as a result of which, the only option that white has is to go back and forth with the bishop, repeat the position time and again, and make a draw. All right, so far so good. Let's go to our fourth position. Also, indeed, a great example of what we should do if we are losing. Right? If you just take a look at the position, it will speak for itself. Firstly, white is not in a good shape. Why? Because black has an extra bishop. But probably we can just deflect the queen from protecting the b8 square, right? So the way we deflect the queen from protecting the b8 square is by playing rook captures a3, and they must capture, or else there are a lot of other ideas that white might have in effect. So rook captures a3, queen captures a3, and then comes queen b8 check, because we have successfully managed to deflect the queen away. Rook goes to g8, and then okay, cool, back and forth, right? Check, and then again it check, and then it's just like repeating three times, and once you repeat the position three times, it leads to an ultimate draw. All right, let's go to the fifth position. Again, I think this is probably the same thing. Black has an amazing position, barrage of bishops looking towards the king. Also, queen g2 is threatened over here. So firstly, I would love to play queen d5, and after queen captures a1, it's a basic threefold repetition, or a basic perpetual check, right? Keep going back and forth, and then that's pretty much it. All right, so far so good. So let's move on to our sixth position. Of course, black is winning. Black has amazing moves which are lined up. For example, queen h2 is a checkmate. Queen h1 is a checkmate. A lot of different options. So yes, white indeed must go for perpetual checks. So first move that white is inclined to play is, or should play, or must play is the move queen g5. And after king h8, yes, indeed go queen c6, king b8, queen b5, king a8, and then just keep going back and forth. Yeah, it's b5, not g5, my bad. b5 c6, b5 c6, b5 c6, and then that's pretty much it. It is a simple draw. All right, let's take a look at this position. I guess even this is simple. But yes, to evaluate, black is threatening to play queen b2. Black has an extra rook, so it's time to expose the king. Firstly, rook captures g7. King h8 would not work because of queen h7 checkmate. So yes, the king must take, and then the pattern recognition thing is very important, wherein you keep on going, you keep on checking in back and forth, and there is nothing black can do to avoid this repetition, and that's pretty much it. Okay, let's go to again the next position. Queen b2 is threatened, queen a7 is threatened, a lot of things are threatened. So yes, firstly, desperado, as in, yes, you need to find the right check, and then yes, not queen to g6, but you play the move queen h6. Wherever the king goes, yeah, you just keep on repeating like the second position that we saw, and pretty much that is a draw. Let's go to another position. Again, if you want to make a draw, you need to be a little bit sharp over here. Black threatens queen b2 checkmate. So yes, the first move is to play queen h7, king h7, and there is pretty much nothing black can do apart from moving the king to these two squares, because the f6 pawn defends the g7 square successfully, right? And the king cannot move forward to g6 because of this amazing knight on e5. I think that's pretty much it when it comes to draws. If you can see on the right hand side, you can always book a demo. Take a look at the description, take a look at the number, uh, take a look at the website. That's pretty much it. Happy chasing and have fun. Take care, all of you, and stay safe.